Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 250. I'm your host, Melo Crothers. Wow, it's a lot of episodes. Jeez. When I realized, what episode I'm at, I'm like, wow, I wonder if, that's a milestone for me, or is it just another podcast episode that, I get to, talk about my journey. Anyway, you guys know what time it is. It's Mondays with Melo, and today I'm talking about eating, sleeping, and breathing my passion. And even, your passion, right? Because there are so many people in this world who love what they do and every single day. And I'm thankful that I'm one of those people, and I count my blessings. And when I talk about, eating, sleeping, and breathing my passion, I really mean it. I mean, it sounds cliche to everyone, but it's something I live by on a daily basis. And there are, early mornings where I'm eating breakfast and I'm on my laptop planning out my day, or nights where I'm eating dinner and writing out brainstorming notes for a book I plan on writing. As I'm recording this and I'm thinking about this, I spent a Friday night recently, just writing out, brainstorming notes for, books that I plan on writing this summer. And these are books for next year because, all of my books are pretty much ready to go for this year. And I realized that, it's been a while since I've actually sat and did brainstorming notes. So, I did some of my brainstorming notes by the pool, because, it's during the week and it's quiet and, not many people around. And then, some other books, I started planning out actually just, sitting in my apartment and saying, okay, this book sounds great, but maybe I'll hold off on that. And then I'll work on this, work on writing this book. So as I'm recording this, this summer I plan on writing 4 books because that's, the amount that I'm publishing next year. So 4 definite, probably may write 5 to 6 books this summer. It just depends on, my flow and, what I'm doing, things like that. So when I really talk about eating, sleeping, and breathing this, I do. I'm, eating dinner some nights and writing notes or thinking about what's next, or I fall asleep, wake up in the middle of the night, and another idea has come to me. And, there's just times where, I meet people and, talk about, what we do and, things of that nature. And when I talk about, my journey as an author and having a podcast, people look at me and go, what in the world? Like, how do you have all of this time? And if you guys are active, listeners on a daily basis, I have advantages that a lot of other people don't. I have a 4-day work week. I'm single, no girlfriend, not married, never been married. No kids, things of that nature. So there's just a lot of advantages that I have that other people don't. Some people have their own businesses. Some people, have kids. Some people have family, things they have to deal with that keep them from doing what they want, what they need to be doing, which is their passion, right? So sometimes, I'm immersed in a project that I'm working on, days where I don't even eat enough because I know I have to, finish a book I'm working on, or, finish, these podcasts that I'm, passionate about. And sometimes I'm focused, I'm driven. And, there's nights where I'm laying in bed and, I'm writing a book in my head. Like literally, I'm planning out everything on how I'm going to write this book, the backstory, the characters. And like I said, I get the book ideas and I have to write it down. I don't have a choice. And I wish you guys could see how many, notes that I have in my phone. I have a separate folder for just book ideas. I have a separate folder for poetry that I write, things of that nature. Like, this is, how I do things. And even blog ideas come to me. And I know that I have to, put it in my notes, on whether it's going to be a Mondays with Melo blog, or Wednesday motivation, or, a Friday book insight, right? And, I do think about, the end goal and the success, and where it all comes together and it works out the way, I've been envisioning it for the longest time. And breathing this, through speaking, all of this stuff into existence, and telling myself that I'm going to get to where I want to be. And, talking about my books and how I write them and the characters and the subject matter and all that, that's important to me, because down the road, people can, listen to, a book of mine, or read a book of mine, or listen to a podcast, after the fact, and go, oh, wow, okay, so this is why Jamel wrote this book. This is why he wrote this subject matter. And that's a beautiful thing. And like I said, a lot of authors don't share that journey of what went into writing, certain characters or certain books, or why they wrote the chapter the way they did. And I'm just that person. And I always say, in a few years, this will become the blueprint. Authors will start to go on podcasts and go on YouTube and go on social media and talk about their books and give overviews, and not just do a book reading and not explain why and what went into writing, the books that they're writing. And, recording the audiobooks, that takes weeks to complete. And the amount of focus and concentration it takes to pronunciate and verbalize feelings and emotions into what you've written, that's another, hurdle within itself. So I always, make sure that I'm sharing my journey with you guys, and for a purpose and reason. It's to get you guys to really know that you guys can do a podcast too, and you guys can talk about your passion and what you love. It can be anything that you love and are passionate about. There's an audience for everything, believe it or not. So it's not just, my journey as, a writer and author, and, doing this great podcast that I love doing. It's knowing that, you can do whatever you put your mind to. It's just, you got to have the mental focus. You got to have the drive. You got to have the dedication, the time, the patience, the energy, the effort, the consistency, like I said, the discipline, all of those things. So the 5 Ds: dream, drive, determination, dedication, discipline. Once you have the 5 Ds, you're on your way. And that in itself, you guys know that, like, it takes a lot to get to where you want to be in life. And I know, because I've been doing this for years, and it's fun for me. And I get excited when it's time to, do these podcasts. And sometimes I'm tired, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to do this today. But guess what? When I look at the content that I'm getting ready to record, I'm like, okay, this is going to reach somebody, and it's going to make people go, you know what? This is something to think about. This is something I need to pursue, and this is something that I want to do it myself, right? So I'm all for helping people, especially, if you want to publish a book or anything like that. Like, I go out of my way to, try to help people. If you need me to format your book, I'll do that. Book covers, I can give you, places, to go to either create your own, or, get someone to really create something really, great for you and creative. I have, all the, platforms and, places to go. Companies are charging hundreds and even thousands of dollars to, publish your book. And these people are experts and things of that nature. And I'm like, nope. I'm the guy that if you want to do something, I'll give you the blueprint. I'll give it to you all for free, because I learned everything for free. So why would I charge you for something that's free on the internet? doesn't make sense to me, right? And I want you guys to be as passionate as me in what you're doing, right? So this is why I, took the time today to really share, how my mind works and how I chug away and, make sure that I'm getting this work done, because like I said, these podcasts are not just for the moment, not for today. It's for, the young kid who, isn't listening to podcasts yet and, isn't, into that, part yet. And 10 to 15 years from now, they come across, my podcast or someone else's, and they get motivated and inspired. So that's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, the website, theaquariummindpodcast.com. And I'm on all major platforms. You guys know where I am. Feel free to subscribe, do all those wonderful things, share the podcast. Beautiful thing. You guys need help in anything, reach out to me on my website, on aquariummindrights.com. I am always there, and I, do check my my contact form. So be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.